What if I told you that the world you grew up in, the world built on the US dollar and Western financial power, is quietly being replaced? Not someday in the distant future, not through speculation, but right now through a coordinated move by dozens of countries who are tired of the old system. BRICS, once just an economic group, has transformed into a global counterweight to Western dominance. And in 2025, its expansion marks the start of a new world order built on new alliances, new money, and new influence. If BRICS succeeds, the US dollar won't suddenly crash, but its 8-decade monopoly will begin to weaken. Nations across Asia, Africa, and Latin America are preparing for a world where the dollar is no longer the only option, and once that shift begins, there is no turning back. In 2009, BRICS had just 5 members. Today it looks like a mini United Nations with real economic leverage. Countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Iran have already joined. But that is only the beginning. Indonesia, Nigeria, Turkey, Thailand, Mexico, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, and many others are lining up next. Together, these nations represent nearly half of the world's population, more than a third of global GDP, over half a global oil reserves, and almost half of all food production. BRICS is not becoming an alliance, it is becoming an economic ecosystem, and ecosystems don't collapse easily. So why are so many nations rushing to join BRICS? Not because they hate the United States, but because they want options. For decades, the global financial system has been dollar-based, Western-controlled, and dependent on institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. For many nations, this system has meant political pressure, sanctions, volatile debt, and limited freedom. BRICS offers something completely different. Trade without fear, loans without political strings, development without ideological pressure. In short, more sovereignty. But the real game changer is the plan for a new BRICS currency. Not a traditional banknote, a digital reserve currency, partially backed by gold, linked to commodities, and settled through a shared blockchain. A currency that no single nation controls. Not China, not Russia, not any one government. This gives the new currency neutrality, legitimacy, and the potential to become a true alternative to the US dollar in global trade. Not a replacement, but an exit route. And de-dollarization isn't a theory, it is happening right now. Saudi Arabia is selling oil in currencies outside the dollar. India and the UAE are trading in rupees. China and Brazil are settling transactions in yuan. African nations are moving toward local currency trade. Russia has removed the dollar from its reserves entirely. Deal by deal, the world is slowly shifting away from the dollar, not through a collapse, but through a slow, steady bleed. And this is where the world is heading. 2 parallel financial systems. A Western system dominated by the dollar, SWIFT, and the US-led institutions, and a BRICS-led multipolar system built on local currencies, digital settlements, and a shared reserve currency. The world isn't turning anti-America, it is becoming less dependent on America. And once the BRICS currency is launched, the world will have its first real alternative to the dollar since World War II. Over the next few years, expect more countries to join BRICS, expect more oil sales outside the dollar, more trade in local currencies, stronger digital payment networks, a weaker sanctions regime, and a gradual shift in global influence from west to east. The old world order isn't collapsing, it's evolving. But the new world order, it's already being built, quietly, methodically, across continents. And BRICS is leading the charge. If you want deeper insights into geopolitics, global power shifts, and the future of world finance, join my free newsletter. The link is in the description. This is Manish Goswami. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.